D4, D5, C4, C6, knight F3, knight F6, E3, E6, bishop D3, knight B, D7, B3, B6, castle kingside, bishop B7, bishop B2, D takes C4, B takes C4, C5, D5, E takes D5, C takes D5, bishop takes D5, E4, bishop C6, rook E1, queen E7, knight C3, castle queenside, knight D5, queen E8, A4, bishop D6, bishop A6, check, king B8, queen B3, knight takes E4, A5, bishop C7, A takes B6, A takes B6, bishop B5, bishop B7, queen A4, queen E6, bishop C6, bishop takes H2, check, knight takes H2, queen takes C6, queen A7, check, king C8, knight E7, check, king C7, knight takes C6, rook A8, rook takes E4, rook takes A7, rook takes A7, king takes C6, rook E7, rook D8, knight F3, B5, rook takes F7, B4, rook takes G7, king B6, rook A1, bishop takes F3, G takes F3, knight F8, rook G8, C4, bishop G7, knight E6, rook takes D8, knight takes D8, rook C1, king B5, F4, knight E6, bishop E5, knight C5, king F1, knight D3, rook D1, king C5, king E2, king D5, rook H1, knight C5, rook takes H7, C3, bishop takes C3, B takes C3, rook C7, C2, king D2, knight E4, check, king takes C2, knight takes F2, king D2, king E4, king E2, knight G4, rook C4, check, king F5, king F3, knight H2, check, king G2, knight G4, king G3, knight E3, rook C5, check, king F6, king F3, knight F5, rook A5, king G6, rook A6, check, D4, D5, C4, C6, knight F3, knight F6, E3, E6, Bishop d3. Knight bd7. b3. b6. Castle kingside. Bishop b7. Bishop b2. D takes c4. B takes c4. c5. d5. E takes d5. C takes d5. Bishop takes d5. e4. Bishop c6. Rook e1. Queen e7. Knight c3. Castle queenside. Knight d5. Queen e8. a4. Bishop d6. Bishop a6. Check. King b8. Queen b3. Knight takes e4. a5. Bishop c7. A takes b6. A takes b6. Bishop b5. Bishop b7. Queen a4. Queen e6. Bishop c6. Bishop takes h2. Check. Knight takes h2. Queen takes c6. Queen a7. Check. King c8. Knight e7. Check. King c7. Knight takes c6. Rook a8. Rook takes e4. Rook takes a7. Rook takes a7. King takes c6. Rook e7. Rook d8. Knight f3. b5. Rook takes f7. b4. Rook takes g7. King b6. Rook a1. Bishop takes f3. G takes f3. Knight f8. Rook g8. c4. Bishop g7. Knight e6. Rook takes d8. Knight takes d8. Rook c1. King b5. f4. Knight e6. Bishop e5. Knight c5. King f1. Knight d3. Rook d1. King c5. King e2. King d5. Rook h1. Knight c5. Rook takes h7. c3. Bishop takes c3. B takes c3. Rook c7. c2. King d2. Knight e4. Check. King takes c2. Knight takes f2. King d2. King e4. King e2. Knight g4. Rook c4. Check. King f5. King f3. Knight h2, check. King g2. Knight g4. King g3. Knight e3. Rook c5, check. King f6. King f3. Knight f5. Rook a5. King g6. Rook a6, check.